She was loved dearly. Beautiful soul, beautiful young lady. And this has been very tragic. I just can't say no more, sir.
What's up, Jabel here, and today we have a new video. And for this one, we are talking about a man who pulled up to his ex house and shot her 15 times for not answering his texts or calls. Tuesday, December 20, 2022, early in the morning, around 7:48 a.m., Melbourne police officers were dispatched to 2827 Colbert Circle for the report of a victim suffering from gunshot wounds. When officers arrived on the scene, they discovered a woman's body riddled in wounds, face down, unresponsive. She was identified as 23-year-old Shadayla Johnson. At the time of the shooting, her father was on the couch and Shadayla was getting ready for work. At around 7:40 a.m., she left out the front door and approached her vehicle to get inside to leave. A few moments later, shots were fired. As her father heard the shots while inside the house, he carefully looked outside the window to see what happened and saw a man standing behind his daughter Shadayla. The man he identified was her ex-boyfriend, 23-year-old Carlos Jones. During an interview, Shadayla's father, Torrance, goes on to say her daughter was dating the man for the past 5 months. Her father exited the front door and went to investigate even more. Upon investigating, he saw his daughter in a pool of blood. During the interview, Shadayla's father, Torrance Clark, goes on to say her daughter and the man Carlos used to stay together in an apartment but broke up 2 weeks ago after a heated argument. Her father tells investigators Carlos was constantly calling and harassing his daughter, trying to get her back. He goes on to say she refused to speak to him, which appeared to anger him, and he proceeded to handle it in a violent way. Carlos' last attempt to reach Shadayla was on December 19, 2022, one day before the shooting. The investigation was over quickly. After the murder, Carlos turned himself in to police, where he confessed to the murder of his ex-girlfriend Shadayla Johnson. According to him, he says he woke up that morning and grew angry Shadayla didn't answer any of his calls and text messages. He decided to go to her house and confront her before she went into work because he knew her schedule. He pulled up in his black Nissan sedan behind her car in the driveway to block her in. He saw her exiting her home, he got out, and an exchange of words occurred. Shadayla didn't want to hear any of it and turned away from him and faced her home. That is when Carlos then pulled out a handgun and pointed it at Shadayla and fired 15 times at her back as she was walking away from him, and left her for dead and then fled the scene. Carlos then told police he bought a 9mm handgun 1 week ago and said it was used for self-defense, but then said he used it to kill Shadayla. After the murder and fleeing the scene, he went to his apartment to change clothes. He threw the clothing along with ammunition in the apartment's dumpster. He also traveled on the highway and got rid of a magazine with 3 rounds of ammunition. He also went on by saying his mother called him a few hours after the murder and told him to surrender to police. According to Carlos, he was not remorseful of what he did and said he would do it again and kill Shadayla and her father as well. Man, this story is very devastating. Now, in today's society, it seems that you cannot even leave a relationship. People feel that if they can't have you, nobody else can. And in today's society, it is very scary for a lot of women. They cannot escape. It seems that before you could just leave a guy and everybody goes their separate ways and move on with their life, right? But today's society, man, you can't even do that. They will go after you. And even for some men as well, some women will go crazy. They will probably go to your house, try to burn it down. I did remember seeing a story like that. There are going to be consequences when trying to get rid of some of these people who have no type of, sense, who have no type of anything. They don't care about anything. They just want to be with you. But knowing that you don't want to be with that person will affect them. And also, this guy's mom called him hours after the murder, telling him to turn himself in, which is a good thing that this mother did that, because obviously she cares about this woman and also her son. He needs to be punished for what he did. And it is just very sad, man. Like I said, you cannot even leave a relationship in this society. You have to be very careful on what type of person you get with, because you never know, especially for young girls who are probably wanting to start dating and their parents are probably not letting them. And I understand why. And that is it for this video. RIP to Shadayla. My condolences go out to her family, her friends, and also Carlos is going to be behind bars for a very long time for what he did. And make sure y'all stay safe out there, man, because like I said, you never know.